Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're talking about day 14 of switching from Nvidia to AMD. So today's video is just going to be pretty much a generalization of the whole experience that I have felt from day one till right now. Because today is technically the last day that I have that I could send it back and get something else, and I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. I've already decided. I decided that a few days ago that I was gonna keep this card. I was gonna make it work. I was able to buy Riders Republic today on the Ubisoft store, 15 bucks. If you're a Ubisoft fan like I am, you probably got tons of points, so you can get another 20% off, which knocked it down to like 12 bucks. But I was able to get that game. Okay, when this came out, I bought this game day one when it came out. I spent $120 on that. I bought it on the Xbox version. I did buy another copy on PS5, and now I have it on the PC. I would have bought it on the PC prior to this had the 3080 been able to give me the experience I have right now with the 7900 XT, I would have bought it in a second. I am actually uploading a video for that. You'll probably have already seen that before you watch this. And if you haven't, please look that one up and watch that so I can kind of go into a little more detail and like show that game off because it needs to be showing off. Um, when I was running on the 3080, I couldn't set it to 4K with max settings. It was like 11, it's just over 11 gigs of VRAM needed to be able to play that game. So I wasn't able to set that and be able to get the max settings. And then the frame rate was well under 60 at 4K on that game. So my only option back then, because I didn't know, I didn't know Nvidia cards could do like the super resolution thing that would let me render it at a higher rate and then downscale it to my 1440p. I already had the game on the Xbox that ran at 1440p and it looked just fine. Or it ran at, upscaled 4K, and then I downscaled great to my 1440p monitor. So I just figured, yeah, I don't really need this. I'm not getting anything much better than what I've already got right now, just due to the fact that I don't have the VRAM to push it. Because I guarantee the 3080 could have pushed that game like no problem, but it doesn't have DLSS, it doesn't have FSR support, so you got to run it at a native resolution. So now that I have this card, oh my gosh, man, I can max it out all the way to 8K, and that literally takes like all the VRAM to do that. Still, it's like 30 frames per second. It is a fairly heavy game. When I'm playing it at 4K, I'm getting anywhere from 70 to a little bit over 100 over 100 frames a second. If I'm flying around, I'm getting like up to 145 frames a second. So that's pretty cool. And that's just the experience. That's just one of the reasons, like part of the experience that I've had with this card since I've gotten it, that's just been like, wow, man, this is a great experience. This is above and beyond what my console experience is. Now, previous to that, with the 3080 card, I'm not saying that that card's bad. There are definitely ways that you could make it last you a lot longer, but I'm still kind of in like a console mindset when it comes to this. I'm not like an expert. I'm really just a consumer, just like you, that started a YouTube channel because I wanted to, talk about the products that I buy, and I wanted to review products, and I wanted to see if I was good at it. And, my kids were always talking about wanting to start a YouTube channel. So I was like, all right, let's do it. Let's start a YouTube channel and see how this goes. And I'm so grateful that I've got so many people that have actually showed up to support this journey. And it's awesome. It really is. It's been very fun. Um, Another thing that I want to address, but I want to just get back. Like I said, like I was just saying, I'm so ADD, I mess up a lot, but I have this console mindset still, like I do, and that's fine. I hope I never lose that. I want to be able to just be able to play games on any platform and still be able to enjoy them. And with the Xbox and the PlayStation, and yeah, I just got this mindset of like, when I buy a game, I want to just set it to max, and see how it runs. And with the 3080, I was starting to I was starting to run into situations pretty often with the newer games that I was buying, and just wasn't giving me like a. I mean, I've been able to play the games, and I was playing the games, and I was doing just fine. And I mean, it wasn't 100% all of that. There's three main reasons that I decided to upgrade and go with AMD. One was the 3080 itself with the lack of VRAM giving me limitations every so often, making me feel kind of like I was a little bit trapped and like I wasn't getting that 4K experience because I'm looking at that card and I'm like, this is supposed to be 30 teraflops and that one's supposed to be, and the Xbox is 12 teraflops. This one should do way better. Like I said, I'm still in the console mindset. We're still learning. We're doing our best. But then also there was that. Then there's the FOMO trust me, I know I create FOMO when I review these products, but the community also creates FOMO for me as well. So it's like a double-edged sword. We're creating FOMO for each other. So that was a big thing. And then to top it off, I would say the absolute main reason that I upgraded to AMD and didn't just go get another Nvidia card was Starfield. Starfield was the main reason, being an AMD exclusive, not exclusive, but having like AMD branding and all of that. I was like, yeah, I want to get the best out of this experience, so I will go with the AMD and see how that's utilized. And that marketing kind of got me. It kind of dragged me in because I'm looking back at my Nvidia experience. My Nvidia experience. I bought a laptop first, and I had the MX350. I mean, it would play games. It wasn't like the greatest or anything. I mean, I could play at like 1080p medium settings with that on a lot of stuff. That was all right. Then I bought another laptop. I got a 3050 Ti, and that had 4 gigs of VRAM, and that kind of like put me in. That was literally the only thing, the most powerful thing I could buy. And this channel was just starting to grow to a point where it was like, okay, I need something a lot faster than what I got right now. So I bought the laptop. And then a few months later, I was like, you know what, man? Let me get a desktop. So I got the one desktop that I could find at the store that was the most powerful thing, which was the 3060 Ti. And then about 8 months after that, I was able to find that 3080. So, and this was all during the COVID when I started the channel. So I had 4 different NVIDIA experiences that I feel like, and I'd spent like almost all, I think my overall PC now, I'm up to $7,000. I could have like the 4090 top of the line, everything, blah, 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 whatever. But we all make mistakes and we all do things. And I kind of do things pretty impulsively. Like when I get an idea in my head, I'm just on it. Like ask the community. I was like, man, should I buy a Steam Deck or should I get the PSVR 2? And I was 100% ready to get the Steam Deck, and then I was like, nope, I got to get the PSVR 2. I thought it was going to be something. I thought it would be better for me and better for the channel because I like racing games in VR. I know we're getting way off, but like this is just my way to kind of explain how I'm feeling about everything. And I feel like if you have a little bit more context of why I do things and why I make the decisions that I make on this channel, then you'll kind of understand like it it's one of those things where I feel like I gotta move forward with stuff just to kind of stay relevant too. And the channel itself kind of puts a lot of pressure on me to uh to move to something else pretty fast. And it does, and that's true. I have a tendency now to move from game to game pretty quick. I buy stuff that sometimes I probably shouldn't, you know what I mean? Like I probably should not buy certain things, especially like the PSVR 2 as early as I did. If I would have just waited, it probably would have been a better experience. But now it's just sitting there a lot, and people are probably starting to think like, man, you were hyping this thing up and it was the greatest thing ever. And it is. Like it's incredible. When I put it on and I play it, I'm very happy. I'm very immersed in the experience. It's just finding the motivation nowadays to put it on is a hard thing, because I don't really actively play the PlayStation that much. I only play it for exclusives. So when something comes out and I play it, then it goes back into hibernation mode, and I'm back to doing what I do with all my other platforms. Um, when it comes to the 7900 XT, being a content creator and having access to this I mean, I technically, I guess it's a higher end build. Um, I don't miss, I don't miss DLSS, and I don't miss, um, I don't miss DLSS, and I don't miss, ray tracing all that much. And and the reason for that is because like now with this card coming from the card that I had, the 3080, I don't need DLSS. I can run most things at native resolution and still get a way good playable frame rate. So I don't feel like I need it. And I mean that's definitely helped me not have to feel like I need that. But at the same time, the only other experience I have with PC is that 3080 and the 3060 Ti and the 3050 Ti. So that's all I can really compare it to when it comes to the overall experience. Now I've gotten a lot of feedback on the channel. I've gotten a lot of feedback, a lot of overwhelmingly positive feedback, and then I still have some, some holdovers, some guys that are 100%, Nvidia, and I appreciate their feedback, and I agree with them, man. If I would have went out and bought a 4080 or a 4090, I probably would be none the wiser. I would. Ignorance is bliss. I would be none the wiser to the AMD experience. So I would be like, oh my gosh, man, like I would just be stuck in that same mindset that everybody else is. But I could tell you right now, after 14 days with this card, I could potentially stay with AMD. Like, I don't know if I would ever really have the need to go back to Nvidia, to be completely honest with you. The more time I spend with this and the more experience I get with it and playing around with the software and just being able to like this just feels like a really inviting experience as opposed to what Nvidia felt like. Like Nvidia, I just had this mindset. I was getting into this mindset that like, yeah, I should be able to do this and that, and it was starting to get bad. And now with the AMD, I've been able to come into this experience with lower expectations, because there's just a lot of negativity out there when it comes to AMD. So when you come into the AMD experience, it's almost like you're looking for a reason to not be happy. And that's what it is. I feel like a lot of people are like that, especially like if you got a PlayStation fan. I talk about PlayStation and Xbox a lot because this is essentially a console channel. But if you look at the PlayStation guys, they're like, oh man, I love this, and they automatically say that they just dismiss Xbox because they're like, oh man, that's fodder or whatever. But if you actually bought an Xbox and played it and let yourself enjoy the video games, I think you'd be just fine. But these guys will get them, and then they'll be like, oh man, they'll just be sitting there looking for reasons to uh to nitpick it. And that's fair of like any product. You could be an AMD guy and be like, yeah, and just look for reasons to bash Nvidia, because to be completely honest with them, both of them have their faults. Like Nvidia's like user experience when it comes to like being able to set up the card and set up the experience. Um I'll tell you what, man, if I wouldn't have been flipping through shorts on YouTube one day and seen this dude come on and tell me how to turn on like the better color palette for the Nvidia, I would have never known. I would have been none the wiser. I would have never figured that out. I would have been like, oh man, and my experience would have been my experience would have been worse because I would have never found that. And so Nvidia really does need to find a way to fix their drivers, not drivers, but their overall software, and bring it all together and make it one thing so that they can really like have like a more approachable integration, a more approachable integrated software for their cards, because they are amazing and they do amazing things. And if you can find that, then you can truly utilize those cards full potential. Whereas with AMD, it's like right there, and you can find it and you can read things and you can utilize things and you can see how it works in real time. You can alt R in and out of the software while you're playing a video game, making changes that take effect in real time. And it's cool. Like, I mean, yeah, there's like little bugs and stuff that you might run into every once in a while with both of them. But I mean, the overall user experience is pretty good. Is pretty good with AMD. And there's things that like once you get into it, once you get over the whole once you get over the whole AMD is bad, and you start to look at and see AMD and the graphics cards and the system for what it is, and how it operates, and how it is, then you can start to minimize the problems that do matter, that are there. Obviously, if you were looking for reasons to nitpick, you would find them, but then you can kind of put those ones aside, because that's what we do with products when we like them anyways. It doesn't matter what product we like, they're always going to have something that bugs us, or little quirks or something like that. But if we like that product, we're more than willing to overlook some of its flaws to enjoy the good parts of it. And AMD is no different. Once you found a way to appreciate the card and the experience for what it is, and you start to, overlook those, or find solutions, or find ways around them, it's PC gaming. Like, you're gonna find things either way that you're not going to be happy with, or that are going to that are going to bug you. But I've ran into a few things with the AMD thing that I was like, okay, I actually more surprises, like, wow, it can actually do this, than I have found things that are bad. Like, it's been a truly eye-opening experience, to be completely honest with you. I like what AMD has brought to the table. I like the ease of being able to get in there and play around with things. Like, I really appreciate that so much. It's such a fun experience that I'm like, I find myself more drawn to want to learn more about PC gaming and more about things. And I'm like, wow, dude, I want to buy more games, and I want to play more games on the PC now. Like, I want to buy some of these newer games that are coming out. Next week we'll be doing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I might actually pick up Remnant this week for PC, and just cover that one on the PC, as opposed to doing it on the Xbox like I was planning. I'll tell you what, like, I am interested in Remnant, but it's not a game that I'm gonna play long term. Maybe I will. Maybe I got into Remnant from the Ashes, the first one, and we played that for a while. We played that for like a couple weeks straight, and then I just quit. We just quit playing it. So, well, I just quit playing it. So, it is one that I'm definitely looking forward to, but I don't know if it's something that's still got my full interest, but I will show it off on the channel. What else? Yeah, like, I'm more willing to want to buy games and try them out on this card now, just because of the fact that I know I feel like I have more of a baseline, and everything seems to be more consistent across the board. So far, with everything that I've been playing, I feel like I'm getting a more consistent experience, and I'm able to do so far. I've been able to do what I want to do. What I want to do. I was even able to download the Resident Evil 4 demo, and I mean, max that thing completely out, and I was still getting in the 100 FPS range while playing that, and I was like, wow, this is absolutely incredible, maxing this out. And you should see how much VRAM that uses to max completely out. 8 gigs of VRAM just for the like textures and stuff. And I was like, wow, that's insane. And I can do it on this card. I couldn't do it on the 3080, and that's why I didn't buy it on the PC. That's why I just got it on the Xbox, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't max it out. And I was just like, all right, whatever, I'll just buy it on the Xbox. So yeah, there's just a lot of there was a lot of limitations with the 3080 that I'm just not running into now. And for me, this was a good upgrade. So I feel good about it. I do. I feel good about it, and I'm trying really hard not to be like all honeymoon phase with it. But I do like it, and I am gonna keep it, and I will take AMD seriously going forward. I will always take AMD seriously going forward. So, all right, my friends, this one's gonna be a shorter video tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and go, but keep putting your comments. I do read them, I promise. I try to heart them as soon as I read them. I can't always respond to them, because like when I get up like an hour early before I got to go to work, and I try to read all the comments and stuff, and there's been a lot of comments the last couple of weeks. So I'm very grateful that there's that, and I've been able to read those comments and stuff, and I do try to I do try to answer those. I feel like on the weekend, I'll try to do like another video after reading all the comments and stuff and try to address some of that. So, and I'll try to be addressing it during the week with videos as well. So, all right, my friends, day 14, I'm keeping the AMD card. This thing is awesome. I do not miss the Nvidia stack at all. Like I really don't miss it. I've been able to find my groove and move forward with this card. So I'm hoping that this helps somebody. And if you are considering AMD, I think it's worth taking a shot. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.